Welcome once again to Vegas Strong and Fearless. We're beginning another year. It's going to be a good year. See, I have the concept of I don't go from year to year to year to year. I go from day to day to day to day. And today is a new, fresh day that is moving into the new year. But any kind of ideas or projects or things you want to accomplish, it's got to be today, the beginning, today. Now, I'm still waiting to hear from some of you folks, your emails. And I think last week I said the 7th person that sent me an email will receive a $25 bonus. So continue, we're going to offer that again. And if you're the 7th email individual, you're going to receive $25. Now, I want you to think, we want to think of greatness. Huge. Something that you want to see happen, thinking about beginning today, but it's going to move into tomorrow. My experience is that the past has brought me to my present, and whatever I'm experiencing today was because of the past. So today is going to affect tomorrow. That's why I want you to start thinking of something that you want to see happen. Tomorrow, yes, but today. Begin mentally to think of what you want to see happen in your life that was not accomplished in 2019. Maybe you want a new home. Maybe you want a new car. Maybe you want to get married. Maybe you want to establish a relationship once again with your family. Maybe you want to begin a new project, a new business. Whatever it is, begin to think about it. Think about it today. I want you to really use your faith to accomplish this particular task. But use your ideas, your imagination, your mental capacity to think something that is going to be challenging, that's something that's going to be big, something you've never done before, but you've always wanted to do it. Maybe you want to open up a gallery, you're a painter. Maybe you want to open up a business, auto business. I don't know, but you need to challenge yourself. You need to start thinking big. And if you do this, it's going to take a lot of energy. Now, you know we deal with a holistic individual, the physical, the mental, the spirit. So you have to balance all three of these areas to accomplish whatever it may be. It's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take a lot of spiritual energy. It's going to take a lot of physical energy, and it's going to take a lot of mental energy to accomplish. But believe me, it can happen. It will happen. Stay away from the words. Stay away from people that say can't, won't, impossible. You got to stay away from those people. And you got to start thinking new words. I can do it. I'm unstoppable. It's reachable. I'm sure. I'm confident. I know. And you just need to start changing your pattern of thinking for the days to come. But remember, it begins today. All right. Let's think about it right now, today. The subject is energy. As I mentioned, if you accomplish anything down the road, something that's a magnitude of greatness, of hugeness. It's going to take energy. So we're going to talk about a little bit about energy. Let me read you something on the subject of energy, which I read before, but I want to read it again. Energy. Most people define themselves by the finite body, but you're not a finite body. Even under a microscope, you're an energy field. You know, I think I mentioned in the past that if you cremate a particular body and you put that cremation or those ashes under a microscope, there's still movement, there's still energy. The molecules, the cells are moving. It's not dead. Energy. Now, you go to a quantum physicist and you say, what creates the world? And he or she will say, energy. Well, describe energy. Okay, it can never be created or destroyed. Always was, always has been. Everything that ever existed always exists. It's moving into form, through form and out of form. You go to a theologian, myself, and ask the question, what created the universe? And he or she will say, God. Okay, describe God. Always was, always has been, never can be created or destroyed. All that ever was, always will be, always moving into form, through form and out of form. You see, it's the same description, just different terminology. So if you think you're this meat suit running around, think again. You're a spiritual being, you're an energetic field operating in a larger energy field. So, energy is what it's all about. One of the forces that we're going to talk about these few minutes is water. Powerful. But you can find the energy in water. Let me describe it or show you. Now, I have some water here, energy. I just eye drop, I filled it. I want to put one drop back. Just one drop. Did you know that one drop of water has the same properties as water in the ocean? Water that I'm going to drink. Water in your system. Just that one drop. So it's very important that you become aware of these properties, these molecules, these cells that are in the ocean, that are in your drinking water, that are at your body, the properties. Powerful. The only difference, obviously, the ocean has more energy coming into being, and you have much water. But those properties that water has, they're in your system also. That's why you need water. You know, you can go a few days without eating, but you can't go a few days without water. Water is powerful. We were in our mama's womb for 9 months, correct? In water. You and I are, they say 75%, maybe more, of water in our body. Powerful. I was watching some of the news a couple days ago, and some of the countries that were experiencing some floods and tornadoes and so forth. Water is powerful, very powerful. A while back, in my home, there was a leakage and the water heater. When I went out to the garage, it was all flooded. And I had to take care of it right away, because if you don't, it's going to damage, it's going to destroy. Water is very, very powerful. Well, you have water in your system. You have that energy of power. You have that energy of force. You have that energy of creativity. You have that energy of imagination. You have that energy of movement. You have that energy of force. No stopping you. But you need to be aware of what you have in that energy of water. But it's not so much the water, it's the energy. That energy comes from the Almighty, the universal, as I mentioned, of energy, the force, the law of supply. So, the next thing, becoming aware, but also understanding that it's a natural law. It's like the law of gravity. You drop a particular ball, it's going to fall. It's the law. And energy also is law. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to be around. You might say, well, let's get rid of the ocean. You can't, because human nature is the law. Now, as I mentioned, they say we only use about 10% of our mind. And the other day I was saying, I want to use more than 10%. Now, why only 10%? I went to my daughter's Thanksgiving dinner, and she just had a little baby, and he's about 3 years old now. And I'm watching this little baby, my grandson, full of energy. But nothing was stopping this little guy. So they said, as I mentioned earlier, that we only use 10% of our mind in the thought process. Why can't we use more? We can. Remember, your mind, your body is a slave to your mind. Your mind controls everything that you are determined to do. The mind is powerful. And as I mentioned, energy, mind, it's just a matter of using it. I went to visit my daughter for Thanksgiving, and her son, so energetic. He's only 3 years old, 4 years old, running around, walking around, jumping off the sofa, jumping off the chairs, and we were watching him, and there was no stopping him. He was energetic. But something happens as we get older. I don't know when it stops, what year it stops, but there's a disconnection. A disconnection from the energy to the non-energy force. The things, when we were younger, there was no limit. Nothing was going to stop us. But something happens again. And somehow we're disconnected from that force that we had when we were babies, when we were younger. We were born without force, as I mentioned. In your mama's womb, all that water, as it came out, as you came out, you were mighty, you were strong. There was no stopping you. But just as I mentioned earlier, I have a lamp here. I can disconnect it, no light, or I can connect it, light. Your mind is the same way. You can disconnect that energy force, or you can connect it. And my hope is that you will live today, and it will move into tomorrow with that connection of power and of might. Let me read you something here. But that rich and abundant substance must be activated. It's up to you and it's up to me to activate this power we have, the source of energy we have, this might that we have, and activate it and use it. I teach some also. I think a while back I was teaching the law. There's a bunch of laws, about 17 laws, but one of the laws is called the law of action. You might have a thought, but you need to put it in action. Cause and effect. The law. The law. So your attitude, mental, concept, belief, and outlook are what connects you to God's rich substance. Let me read this again. But that rich and abundant substance must be activated and be used. Your attitude, your mindset, what you think, what you believe, and your mental concept, belief, and outlooks are what connects you to God's rich substance and gives you access to it. So it's important to make that connection. To make that connection. And if you make that connection, you're going to fulfill whatever you're accomplishing or whatever you desire to accomplish. Keep that in mind. So my desire, my hope is on this particular subject that we're talking about, the energy, and we use water as an example, that today, mentally, you are making up your mind to accomplish, fulfill these dreams. I sent a message to someone the other day and I said, do not allow anybody to rob you of your dreams. Don't forget your dreams. You know, the child, we have all kinds of dreams, ideas, and things we want to do as a child. And if you have the right parents and if you're around the right people, you're going to accomplish them. But again, something happens and you lose track of those dreams. Don't do that. Don't do that. God bless you, and we look forward to another show down the road. Use that energy that's within you, and keep in touch with me. Let me know as you fulfill these dreams. God bless you.